this is Mike Linner from CarShowNationals.com doing the Let's Roll podcast powered by CarShowNationals.com. I always mess that up. It's normal for me. And I'm here with Jeff
We can
Thisted.
always cut and redo it.
Oh, no. That's all right. We're going.
Good.
I'm with Jeff Thisted, my co-host. It's been a while. It's been a crazy summer. He's been on the road.
When's the last time we talked?
Summer life. I don't even know. It's been that long. I couldn't find my headphones. I told you before we started. Couldn't find my headphones.
It's been months.
It's been months. You've been on the road. You've done some awesome, fun stuff. We got to talk about the worm, stuff like that. But, geez, we should do a recap. Yeah, there you go. Let's do a recap on your season. Man, with no COVID, you went crazy. You went everywhere this year. You went.
I put some miles on the 55, that's for sure. So I waited and waited for it. The painter is still killing me. It's a thorn in my side. I don't know if we want to get into that at all. It's horrible. But I picked the car up on June 2nd and then drove up to Pleasanton for the good guys.
Was that right before you almost got killed and something hit you in the highway? Is that?
That was last year.
Okay, geez, I'm losing my years. Holy
right?
cow.
So last year, so let's see, in 2019, I'm leaving the Good Guy Scottsdale, and a lady runs into the passenger side fender. I get a dent, a little fender bender, but it's still drivable. I drive it out to LA, and I drop it off to the painter, and the painter has it, and I don't get the car back until right before the Good Guy Scottsdale last year, and then the log of death almost killed me outside of Hotchkiss, Colorado. So then last year, after Good Guy Scottsdale, I took it over to my buddy Mike and dropped it off. But then the painter, I tell the painter that I need the door pillar fixed. The window still rolls up, so I used it. I drove all year long with that. Looked like Jose Canseco took a baseball bat, and just in some of my pictures you can see it. I mean, it's.
I saw it.
Anyways, I'm still here. It was nuts. So I dropped it off. Oh, we'll fix all this, and we'll do that and that and that. I just need this fixed. I need this fixed, and I need the car back on. This is how horrible it is because it's ingrained in my fragile little mind. I need the car back on March 12th. I'm coming March 12th to pick it up. Yeah, it'll be done way before then. I think I was going to pick it up March 15th, and I just gave myself a few days leeway and whatnot. And then March 12th, my buddy Mike calls me. Hey, Jeff, your car's not ready. Oh, Mike, you're a stitch. You're funny. It's like, no, I'm serious. Oh, you got me again, buddy. You're so funny. No, I'm serious. Your car's not ready. It's like, I need my car. I got to go. I got the Good Guys, Scottsdale, Pleasanton, and then Del Mar. Those are 3 shows that I need it for. I don't know what to tell you. The guy doesn't have the car ready. It's like, is it running? It's in pieces. It's running, but it's in pieces.
I know.
Okay, wonderful. So I got those 3 shows done, and the cool part was, the Good Guys got that big yellow truck that they go all over the country with all their gear. They call it Big Bird. And I've seen them all over the big rigs, but I've never. Have you ever been in one? Like riding in one?
No.
I never have either. You're up like 2 stories high in this big. It's like Smokey and the Bandit and the Snowman. I got to ride from Scottsdale up to right around Kingman, Arizona, the 40, and then we meandered up through Bakersfield and up to Pleasanton, then all the way down the 5 or the 5th, the 5 I think it is, all the way down through LA into Del Mar, and it was super cool.
Right.
So I made that work out. Good Guys helped me out. I made that work out, and then so then the car was ready on June 2nd finally.
Oh, geez.
So I picked from November until June. It's like, anyways, it's running. I pick it up, and immediately something is wrong with it. So I've got to take it back to the guy and wait another few hours for him to. It's like, dude, seriously. And we'll continue on this because I go from Pleasanton. I was going to take PCH, but that was going to add like 6 hours to my drive, and I hadn't had the car that year. So it's freshly put back together, and I just figured I'm just gonna bomb up the 15 or the 5, whatever it is, to Pleasanton. Did that, no problem. We had a great show, and I leave on Monday morning. get out to the Bonneville Salt Flats and check that out. It's, it's Bonneville, it's the salt. Saw that, spent the night in Salt Lake City, and then I go over the Continental Divide the next day, and I get here in Colorado, and open up the garage door, and I'm, I pop open the hood and just looking at things, and then I look down, and I notice my, the Corvette grill, it's off a little bit. Well, that's odd. So I go down, and it's dangling there. It's not attached. And the fresh paint that I had picked up 4 days ago, 5 days ago, there's 2 holes ground through the paint to bare metal because the teeth had ground through the fresh paint. He didn't put it back together. So the grill's not on. There's a bumper bolt that's not on in the front. There's a bumper bolt and a carriage bolt in the back that's missing. The trim that goes around the hood and the grill, there's 4 of those bolts that aren't in and there's no nuts on. He didn't put the car back together. It's like, what kind of amateur hour is this? Oh, it's professional paint. Anyway, so that aside, so I'm in Colorado. From Colorado, I go to Wichita, Kansas, and the first Batwing gas station in Hayesville.
Hayesville,
you've
been hitting
Kansas.
all those up. You've been hitting them all. Yeah,
I love those things. I don't know why. It's silly. But went to Hayesville, did a video on that. Then from Hayesville to I went to Big Bertha. Have you ever heard of this thing? It's in the southeast corner of Kansas. It was a coal mining machine. Yeah, and they created it at this factory, and then it took 150 railroad cars to transport it to Kansas, and then they assembled it back in, I think, the 50s or 60s, something like that, and it was the second or third biggest one of these excavators. And I drove down into it, and it's just amazing. I'd love to see this thing move. But from Kansas, I did a little Route 66 there, and then down into Hot Springs, Arkansas for a national park. And then into Memphis, and Wes Allison, the photographer. I met Wes in Memphis, and we did. He does some stuff for. Get this, I think it's Gran Turismo, the video game, and I haven't played it in years. But there's a portion of the game where you've got your car and you've spent your credits to build the car to do this and that. You can go into the game and pick out one of his backdrops from Memphis or wherever he goes all around the world, and they give him a camera, and he has this massive tripod, and the camera's it's a Sony, but it's from the Gran Turismo people, and they do a 360 shot of it, and then he does other pictures at it was fascinating to me, and we did that for 3 days, and then I had the Hot Rod Power Tour, Memphis to Nashville and I got a Nashville Super Speedway. That was cool. Nashville to Birmingham, Alabama, down to Pensacola, Florida, and then up to the Atlanta Motor Speedway where I got some more laps on that. That was cool. And then from there, I went up to North Carolina and, Great Smoky Mountain National Park, Blue Ridge Parkway, and then I drove over to Deals Gap. You've heard of the Tail of the Dragon?
Yeah. People talk about that here.
Yeah. So before I did that, I drove down, and the movie 2-Lane Blacktop, where they got the black 55. Yeah. They drive by I think it's the Chenoweth, it starts with a C. It's a dam right south of Deals Gap and Tail of the Dragon. I couldn't pull off the side because there's no safe place, but I got a shot out the window of the dam, and it's like you got the black 55 from the movie. I got a shot of those, so that was super cool. And then I did the Tail of the Dragon up to Knoxville, and then from there I went over to see my buddy Tony in Mulkeytown, Illinois, and then I hung out with Cotton for the DuQuoin Street Machine Nationals. I had never been there before.
I wish I would have been there.
Have you been?
No, I just like all the pro street cars that go there. I just love to go there sometime.
It's pro street, and they're like, I don't want to say retro, but they're kind of late 80s, early 90s, the Miami Vice colors. Right. So it was
some of the originals that you'd see in like Carcraft magazine back in the day.
100%. Yeah. And the fairgrounds are fantastic. And Cotton was telling me that back in, I don't know, the 80s or 90s, he took me in the instead of going in the main entrance, we went in the back way because I'm honored to have Continental Tires asked me if I would display the car during the Hot Rod Power Tour. So I did that, and then they asked if I would bring it to the Street Machine Nationals. It's like, seriously? So my car was in their booth. It's like it was super cool. So I drove in with Cotton, and the back way we came in is, I don't know if it's a mile or so long, this rolling little like one lane blacktop, like a little golf cart sidewalk. And he said they were all empty, but he said these grounds used to be packed to the brim with hot rods as far as the eye could see. It's like, I can't imagine seeing that because the fairgrounds are beautiful.
Right. Yeah. I saw you. Well, you're going to have to watch all the videos. You should tell everyone where to go for that, because I think I watched most of your videos that you did, and they're all interesting. Man. You're showing all the different sites. You got a mayor that showed up at one of the gas stations.
Right.
The mayor of that town. I thought that was pretty cool. And, you got to tell people where to go for that.
YouTube
channel.
Yeah, just / my name, / Jeff Thisted, JEFFTHISTED. I've been doing a lot more. I've been taking pictures for years, but it's like this. It sounds really silly, but if I do a video, it feels like work because that's what I do for work. I'm on camera for work a lot. So it's like taking pictures are easy, and I just have to readjust my perspective or my mindset to just hit the record button and just take a video, because friends of mine have told, like you, it's like, you go all these places, take a video. It's like, I need to. So I've been doing that. So from DeCoin, I hung out with Cotton for a few more days, and then went up to Des Moines, and on my way from Illinois
there too.
Right? On my
so
way to
close
Des Moines.
To me. Yeah.
And you're Minnesota, right?
Yeah, so I'm probably like 4 hours away, but I had to work. It's like
you're always
car
working.
show this year. Every car show this year, I had to work, but I had to do some switching on my schedule because there's only one person who can work for me. So I did go back to the 50s. I went to the Street Machine Nationals here in Minnesota, but a lot of the other shows I'd love to go to, I missed them. And Good Guys is always on my weekend to work. It never fails every year. Des Moines,
you got to switch it out next year. Des Moines,
somehow.
they had I think almost 6,000 cars there.
Yeah,
and it's like I got there at 5:30 in the morning. It's still dark out, and there are these guys sitting in lawn chairs. Like, what are you doing? You can't see anything. What are you doing? I got to get my spot. It's like, I don't get it. What do you mean you got to get your spot? Just park. Anyways, it was amazing. Huge car show. It was pretty awesome.
Right. I'm trying to get you to go to the Back to the 50s still up here. We have 12,000, 11,000, 12,000, somewhere around there. I think this year is 11,000.
11,000. That's amazing. So do you like Back to the 50s better than the Street Machine Nationals in Minnesota?
There's just so many more cars.
Really?
It's hard to say. I like them both. But the Street Machine Nationals is much smaller. It's probably about 6,000 cars here for that. You get a lot of the newer.
That's a lot.
You get a lot of the newer Camaros and Corvettes and stuff like that too. But
and
it's a wide variety of cars. Some crazy builds that people do that probably I don't even know if they're street legal. They drive in some kind of 4-wheel drive thing that you've never seen before with bars going across and different things that you never see. So that's what makes that one fun. Back to the 50s, just 50s cars, 64 and older. So you see a lot of everything. And, I like the 30s cars too. I'm a fan of like a 32 Ford. I'd love to have one. I might not fit in one, but I'd love to have one. I've rode in a 34 and it's, a little tight quarters, but
they're so fun, narrow.
Yeah, they are. But the Good Guys show, holy cow, at that one Good Guys show, and it was probably in California. The one you were at, all the finalists, it seemed like they're like 32s to 34s. What show was that one?
Del Mar. And I'm leaving on Monday for the second Del Mar this season. But the brown 30, whatever it was, it had a Cadillac engine. I think it was Hot Rods by, not Troy, Hot Rods by, oh man.
It could have been. Could have been. I can't remember. I remember watching your video, but holy cow, all those cars were amazing.
Amazing.
I would have loved to have been there just to look at those things, man.
It's like I get done with autocross, and then immediately it's like, hey, we got to get you over to the awards thing to do this. So there's no this sounds really silly, the golf cart, because it's a little ways over. So instead of the golf cart, I had to walk over. I'm trying to hustle over, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here they are. And then I think it was Dustin who's like, hey, we got to get these things going. So he had them start. And the video, I didn't even have time I didn't prepare anything. It's like, oh, wait, let me get out the phone, hit record, and here they are, kind of following them over, completely unprepared. But I think I got some gold because the cars are stunning.
Wow, they were. I was like, wow, I wish I was there. But you get to do fun stuff like that, you know. I don't get to go. I don't get out much other than seeing.
Yeah, right. You're working all the time.
I went to Iowa. I went to
Iowa, that?
First time ever. That was a Thursday, on a Thursday, and they had, I don't know, I probably took 500 pictures of cars. There's that many cars there. So that was a Thursday, the beginning of it. It's like a car show swap meet. So the swap meet was crazy. It was so busy there. But it's out in the middle of nowhere. I'm driving these streets there to get there. I'm like, does anyone drive on these roads? I mean, it was so out in the middle of nowhere, and but it was
where's
just
my GPS taking me?
Yeah, it's like Disneyland when I got out there. I'm like, oh, you know, they had all these all original cars. They had a whole row of Packards, you know, just amazing cars there, and some amazing original cars. You know, stuff
I've always loved the Packard. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
I'm not sure on that one.
Okay, neither am I. I'm going to screw it up one way or the other. So I love that
probably. Yeah, oh, geez. Those cars were amazing. But
so I left Illinois at Cotton's, and then as I'm driving up to Des Moines, I stopped by. It's like the shrine of Our Lady of the Highways on Route 66 for travelers back in the 50s. Yeah. I stopped at the Soulsby service station, again on Route 66, and I did videos of each of these things. And then I think it's a little over a mile, but it's from the 20s, a brick section of Route 66, and there's no speed limit on it. And the reason is because it hasn't been maintained since 1926. You can only go like 15 miles an hour because it's like, you need a pre-runner Baja truck. Because the road is so bad, but it's a piece of history. It's phenomenal. And then made my way over to Des Moines, and I don't know if we talked about it on air. Those bat wings that I like, those Phillips 66 bat wing stations. There's 5 or 6 of them right in the Des Moines area. So got some of those.
I've been to Des Moines several times, and I guess I can't remember if I saw them or not. You know,
they're around. You just got to go look for them.
I lived down in Iowa for 12 years. You know,
right?
I lived in Mason City, Iowa, for about 12 years.
That
was after I said I'd never live in Iowa. I'd never live there, and then I ended up stuck there for 12 years.
Stuck? You didn't like it?
Stuck. No, the people were amazing. Such nice people down there. I lived by a bunch of farmers, but they were all cool. So
it's like. My immediate boss at Good Guys is John, the king of the road. He and Eric and Xavier all live in Iowa, and so does John. The lady right next to me who runs the computer, Miss Pitts, she and her husband Tom live in Iowa as well. So it's like they're the best. It's like anyone you meet in Iowa, they're nice people.
Yeah, great people. That's what I came away with living out there. You know, you drive down the highway or the country roads, and people wave to you when you drive by.
Right. And I noticed
do that.
The truck drivers in Kansas, and I forget the other state, but I noticed if you're the truck drivers, they would all, or a pickup. I don't mean the big rigs, but they're driving, and they would just go. They would just give you a finger. Hand on the wheel, they would just give you a finger to say hi or wave or whatever. Say, oh, okay. So I started doing that back to them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But. So I got Des Moines, Iowa, the Nationals there, and then I drove to Columbus, and on the way I stopped back by the Joliet for the Blues Brothers, the old Joliet prison. Had to get a picture of that with the Blues Brothers, and then, oh my God, have you ever been through Gary, Indiana?
No, I know people that have lived there.
No, you don't. Yeah. Who've lived there?
Yeah.
It looks like a bomb has gone off. I found like Walt's Fine Dining. There's a sign that's there, but the place is it's a empty lot. And then there's this Smith's Cleaners in the middle of.
This way, it's a rough city. Rough.
Oh my!
Rough would be the word.
I got sketched out in Chicago a couple years, or it was last year. My GPS takes me to this gas station, and I was like, "This is." I felt a little uncomfortable, but I didn't feel that bad until a police officer drives up. What are you doing here? Just getting gas. And that you need to get out of here. It's like, wait, what? It's like telling me to get out of the gas station. So as I'm leaving, it's like that was sketchy, but nothing compared to Gary. It was like a post-apocalyptic bomb. It was but I got some cool photos. So I got out of there while the getting was good. Got down to Columbus for the Good Guys Columbus show. And if you haven't been to that, the parking lot in Des Moines has got a pretty decent car show. But Columbus, oh my goodness. It is every night was a party in the parking lot. And the attendant, one of the employees at the hotel, I got there on Tuesday. He liked my car and it's like, hey, well, if you're parked over here, you're out of the show. It's like, perfect, fine. I just need parking because I work and I get done at 5 or after 5. So I just need a parking spot. Oh, so he got me this big ass orange cone. So I left in the morning. I put my orange cone there and I'd come back, and every night there's people, like 20 people sitting in my spot, partying and drinking. And it's like the first night I get there, it's like, oh, geez, they're going to yell at me. They're going to be, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. And I forget what I'm wearing. I get out of the car and I move the cone, and I had on my Good Guys and my Good Guys staff shirt. Oh, he's Good Guys staff. I guess we have to move. And it's like, thanks, guys. Thanks. So they moved without me having to be a jerk. And I got my parking spot off the beaten path. But the parking lot car show there is, they had I don't know if it was a nitro burner or top fuel, but they had a dragster. They lit off a dragster every night in the parking lot. It was, super cool.
That's awesome. Well, you went to you did the C10 Nationals. I saw that, right?
Oh, that's right. That was May.
Was that in Texas?
I had
that
to fly
was in
out
Texas.
Yeah.
I think
the Texas Motor Speedway.
Did you drive your car? Did you drive your car on that track?
I didn't. I've driven Texas track before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that venue. I just missed Texas last weekend for the Good Guys. Tim Strange worked it. But I love the Texas Motor Speedway. Have you been there?
No.
It's a great venue. It's like you drive in but the tunnels are narrow. So if you're driving, I don't know how the big rig drivers get in there. It's you got on each side inches. Yeah, but it's 2-mile track, and the Good Guys just moved there, so their new headquarters are in the turn number 2 condos or office suites. They've got their offices there. But the Texas Motor Speedway is awesome. One of my favorite venues there is.
Really, that's what I was going to ask you. So how many tracks did you take your car down this year? More than a couple. Okay,
I got Nashville Super Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Do the Bonneville Salt Flats count? Because it's Bonneville International Speedway.
Did you go to like Laguna Seca or something too?
Sonoma. I got on Sonoma.
Oh, Sonoma. Okay.
And because of the jerk who painted my car, didn't finish it. Anyways, if I have a 29-gallon fuel cell, and my cap is just held on with pressure, it doesn't attach now. So I filled up with gas in the morning, went to the NorCal Shelby Club Mini Nationals, got to drive on the track. During my second lap, I get black flagged. Like, what the hell's going on? It's like, you're leaking fuel. And Will showed me a picture. I don't have it yet. They're still trying to find it, but there's a picture of the car spewing gas out the back end. So it's 10 miles from the gas station, or the hotel, to the track. So I drove 20 miles there and back. And when I refueled that evening, 6.5 gallons came out of the car. So it's like, and I'm still trying to get the bracket from the jerk painter. It's like, I can't get the bracket for the gas it's like, oh, it's in the mail. I need a tracking number. Well, stop bothering me. It's like, if you had done your job, we wouldn't be.
You still haven't got it, or did you finally get it?
No, I still don't have it.
I've
driven over 15,000 miles, 19 states, 6 or 7 national parks, however many racetracks, spilling gas all over the United States because of this incompetent painter. So, I'm just a little bitter. Sorry. But the car's running great. Knock on wood.
So, what's your blog name again?
I drive a 55. It's just like the book. I drive a 55.
Yeah.
Okay. .com. That's the blog, and the blog has the link to my YouTube and whatnot.
So you can see your videos and stuff. Yeah, I love your videos because they were just interesting, and you talk about the history and stuff, and I think that's pretty cool, So
thanks, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I was going to ask you, are you going to go to SEMA? Have you had any invitations? Are you going?
No invitations yet. I'm trying to get on with the Motor Trend or Power Auto Media. Both of them, I don't know if they're going different directions. I don't know what's going on, but I just read that the Detroit International Auto Show this year, the North American Internet, is empty. It's a ghost town. There's no one there. And it's usually one of the 3 biggest shows of the year in the world, and there's no one there this year. And I know GM, Ford, Toyota, a lot of the majors have backed out of SEMA. I still want to go, but
going to be there. I know Toyota
at SEMA. I don't think so.
I thought
I don't know.
They're going to do some press releases and stuff from there.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, maybe they have a small setup. Maybe they're one of the few.
I'm already registered.
I'm registered too. So
Are you going to go?
Signed up the first day. Me
too. I always do in April.
Yeah.
Whenever they send me the email, I always get on and start typing away. It's like, bing!
Yep, I'm ready to go.
Always.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But so a lot of the new car companies aren't going because they just don't have the parts and stuff to bring cars, let alone everything else. But Kevin Ostie, the voice of SEMA, he explained it to me that a lot of these guys won't bring their cars when the economy is kind of iffy, and when the economy is booming and everything, he said they bring their cars and then they make aftermarket parts for their cars. And when the economy is bad, they don't make anything like that. So that's one of the reasons why SEMA is kind of not for them this year. That makes sense, but a lot of times he says the manufacturers will copy some of the aftermarket parts to make their own stuff for their cars. And I'm like,
oh yeah,
I never thought of that. But that's kind of his explanation, because he was the host at Street Machine Nationals again for second time this year up in St. Paul. So I talked to him.
Because he was in Des Moines as well when we were at the Continental booth. Cotton and I are eating corn dogs, and we look over, and up on the stage is Kevin. And it's like, listen to that voice. And he brought us up there, and we chatted for a little bit. But, he's a great guy.
Yeah, great guy.
And what's it, V8? Not V8 Speed Shop?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I know it's got the big, like the Ford V8. Yeah, he's super cool.
Yeah, nice guy. I'm sure he'll be at SEMA this year. So see you there, Kevin. But do you have any other shows you're going to this year, or are you almost wrapping it up?
Almost wrapping it up. I leave on Monday for. I'm going to take. All right, my goal is I've got an appointment down in Denver, and then I'm leaving after that. Otherwise, I'd leave at like 7 in the morning and head out to Green River. But I'm going to, what I want to do is I've driven over Loveland Pass, Loveland, Independence, Trail Ridge Road. I've been up Pikes Peak. I've been up Mount Evans, which are all above Timberline. But I haven't, the newest, highest paved road in the country is Cottonwood Pass, and I think 12,160. I haven't driven that since it's been paved in think last year, in 2019 they paved it. So I want to go, and that's from like Buena Vista over to Crested Butte. I want to drive that, the highest crossing the Continental Divide other than Trail Ridge Road in North America. I'll do that, and then get on the I-70, have lunch at Ray's Tavern in Green River, and then head down the 24 to Hanksville, over to Capitol Reef National Park, and then Utah Scenic Byway. You know, I like the America's Scenic Byways.
Yeah.
Utah. I happened to drive down this, I don't know how many years ago it was, and I'm meandering down, and all of a sudden you're in these trees. And then at one point, the right side opens up to a white miniature Grand Canyon. And then quarter mile away, the left side opens up to a miniature white Grand Canyon. And then all of a sudden, another quarter mile down the road, both sides open up, and you're on this knife's edge, two-lane little blacktop with no guardrails of this white miniature Grand Canyon surrounding. You drive down into it. It is spectacular. And then I learned it's Utah's only all-American road, and everyone that I've sent on it, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like, it's one of my top 3 roads of all time. Just spectacular. So I'm driving that Capitol Reef National Park, Bryce Canyon National Park, and then my plan is to meander into Zion, do a little Zion National Park, and then head down into Vegas, and then I'll do I got the Del Mar show, and then after Del Mar, the plan is to this is the first time I've been free this weekend or that weekend. The Trinity site, where the first atomic device was detonated in Las Cruces, New Mexico, or just outside of Las Cruces, where the atomic bomb went off. It's open it's open in April and October, so I want to go see that with my own eyes. I've never seen that, and some people are like, you're weird. Why are you going to go see that? It's like, it's history, man. So, and then after that, I got SEMA, I hope, and then the Good Guys Pleasanton, their autumn get-together in Pleasanton, and then I'll drive right down to Scottsdale and the Good Guys Duel in the Desert, the big 32-car shootout that it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's awesome.
Well, I thought that the Hot Rod Power Tour was the best time of the year.
It really is. Those are my people. 6,000 cars. 5. It used to be 7 cities, 7 days. It was 5 the past couple of years. And it's like what bums me out is it's so easy for the keyboard warriors to make these nasty comments online. Oh, the Power Tour's not happening anymore. They suck. And if you don't like it, don't come. It's pretty simple. If it's too hot for you, if you want to complain, don't come. We don't need you. But there's 5,000 like-minded individuals that love it, and it's like I love it. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I always tell my bosses, don't tell anybody, but I would do this for free. It's like, don't tell me that. It's like these are my people, man. It's like the Power Tour is just it's the best.
They just have to come to Minnesota, or at least closer.
Well, see. And that's what everybody says. They always go to the same places. Well, it started going from the Peterson Museum. I think it was out to Milford, Detroit. So it's like you're going to alienate somebody. You can't make everybody happy all the time. If it goes to all 50 states, then somebody's going to be mad. It's like, I can't get how do I get to Hawaii? It's like, figure it out. I don't know. It's like somebody's going to. You can't please all the people ever. So, anyways, yeah.
I cracked up on your video from the Hot Rod Power Tour when you had Cotton on stage, and when he did the worm, and who is he competing against? The other guy who's like a taller
guy from the audience, and it's like, and I told him, it's like, I don't want you to don't kneel to or don't acquiesce to these people. I want to see the worm. Well, what are you going to give him? Every time you see Cotton, he just can't flop down on the floor and start doing the worm, in my opinion. Because everybody wants to see the worm. It's like, you can't do that all the time. But he said, I don't know if it was a donation or what it was, but the guy came up there, was a challenge, and the other guy was horrible. So I forgot that was on the video. That's right.
But your laugh made me just laugh so hard, because I just cracked up when I heard you laughing, because it just made me laugh, because it was just, it was a funny thing to see. And we always talk about Cotton and the Worm, and there he is. And
Cotton and the Worm, and then Newbern came up. Have you been watching the new season of Faster with Finnegan?
I've missed a lot of TV this year.
Because you're working.
Including that. Yeah, well, and now I'm building like 3 other websites for Jim Weicherding, the artist.
Good for you. Nice.
And we're doing hopefully it's going to be a national campaign for child safety in car seats. So that's what we're working on right now. and I've been putting a lot of time into that. To be honest with you, like every day, I get home from my regular job and literally work till midnight. Get up in the morning, work on it again, go to my job, get home, work on it again. I mean, that's.
Are you getting paid for it?
Right now, no. I'm just.
Will you?
I'm believing in what he's doing, and I think eventually it'll pay off.
Okay, I sure hope so.
He's still doing that movie. He's got that movie script that's supposed to go to Hollywood here in a couple of months. So, we're going to build a website for that. But that movie could be huge. I really believe that he's got a big chance of that movie doing something.
It could be huge. It could be a flop. You just got to get something in writing that you're going to be taken care of afterwards once he makes X amount or whatever, that you'll at least get some sort of compensation for building these things, because I know building websites isn't easy, and you do good work, so you need to get paid for it.
I'm doing just so much outside of that too, so I keep busy, no doubt about it.
You do?
And I do take pictures of cars. I go to the car shows, take hundreds of pictures. You probably see them posted every once in a while, but
all the time. It's like, you do the, what is it? The
we're doing the Coon Rapids cruise, but we quit doing the Coon Rapids cruise because people were just driving too irresponsibly, and I just thought someone was going to get killed. So I'm not affiliated, but my buddies are part of the Cold Steel Cruisers here in Minnesota, and when they pulled out of it, they're the ones who started it. I mean, we get like 1,000 cars here in a weekend during COVID, or more, cruising the strip, and they were working with the police and everything, so we were trying to do it, safely. But people just kept getting crazy, and this year, they decided, okay, we're done, we're pulling out of it. So once they did, I said, okay, I'm not going to support it either. And it's sad because during COVID, it was the only thing we could do around here. Just like the COVID cruise you guys had in California.
Quarantine cruise, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's what you reminded me of, is that it was after hours, or there's some, with these TV shows, somebody was, there were these drag races out there, and somebody got killed. And I know, I don't know who it was, but somebody was trying to sue whoever it was, and it's like, guy, if you guys are all showing up on your own accord drag racing, you know the dangers. If you get killed, that's on you. I mean,
well, did you know that was, if it's the same one, we had a guest, he was on our Coronavirus podcast, Dan Live.
Okay.
He got killed in California on Christmas Day.
That's him. That's the guy.
That was Dano. He got killed. We had him on our show.
Oh my God! I didn't know. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I shared it.
It's like no offense to him, but it's like if I go to one of those things, I mean, I know the risk.
I lost your picture.
So, hang on. There we go. Is that better? Because I had low power mode.
I saw JT, Justin Timberlake, but that's Jeff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Daniel got killed out there, so he was on our show. It's funny because when he did when we had our big podcast, he was in his van talking to us from his van. But he was notorious being, his van. He has a special van and everything. But he was out there, and his friends talked him into going because there's nothing going on for car shows. So he went out to the races, and he's like, sounded like he was a little hesitant about it too. And two cars got out of control. They went into the crowd.
Yep.
Story I heard is he stepped in front of this car before it hit a child, and he took the thing. But that's that's what I hear, and unreal. And they've done a lot of tributes to him out there in, I think, Huntington Beach area.
Yeah. Yep.
He's very well known out there. So pretty sad to see that happen. I met him at SEMA, of all things. We were standing on the media stand, and I look at him. I go, "Hey, Dan, alive! I watch you. I watched him a few times from California, because he'd go to like some big concerts and stuff every once in a while. He followed Sammy Hagar a lot, so he was at the concert. Okay. I'm like, hey, this is cool. I can watch the concert, just right on my computer. But
yeah, right.
Yeah, he is big into the car world. Does like what we do. Does a lot of videos.
Very sad.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Dan alive. So, done a lot of tributes to him, and this last year is at SEMA. First thing when I went up on those stands, I thought of him because he was there with me the year before. So, but
wow,
sad.
Yeah,
but yeah. So let's see what else you've been. I told you I went to Iola Car Show, kind of hot that day. I went there and I messaged Joe Coddington and said, I'm going to be there. And we ended up talking. And for the first time, we met in person because we talked online, but I've never talked to her. And she's called me on my phone. We want to get a podcast set up. Yeah. We want to get a podcast set up, but she said where she lives, she's got terrible connection. So that's been part of the issue. And then she introduced me to John D'Agostino, the car builder. Have you met him, or do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said he'll be on our podcast. Next thing I know, he's on Lou Santiago's podcast. I'm like, wait a minute.
Lou.
He said he'll be on, and Joe, introduced me, and
nice.
I don't know if I even told you, but I blew out my knee in June. Like I couldn't walk for like 3
no way.
days. So I had you're gonna love this. I had COVID for a second time right before June, right? Then I go back to work for a week, and then I blow out my knee. And God. Then I literally didn't work for seems like a month. I literally sat home, and so when I went to Iola, it was rough because I don't know if you've ever been to Iola, but it's just big rolling hills. So I'm walking rolling hills all day long, just barely making it. But she is so sweet and says, "Hey, do you want to ride in our golf cart with me and John?" And so here I'm going around Iola in a golf cart. She introduced me to a couple other people, and I got invited to a shop out there. And
nice.
I couldn't go to the shop because I was only going to be there for that day, which happened to be my birthday of all things.
The heck?
So we were down in Wisconsin Dells for family vacation. I got invited to the Iola Car Show by the people at Iola because they sent me stuff to advertise. So they gave me some tickets. So I'm like,
very cool.
I'm on vacation. I got talked the girlfriend into it. I'm like, I'm going to go for a day and go to a car show in Iola. And it's about an hour drive away from where we were. So, and normally it'd be like a 5-hour drive from the city. So it was fun. I got to.
Did you take Brady?
No, he stayed.
No, just solo.
He's with his cousin and my girlfriend. So they just hung out while I went to the car show.
Nice.
So it was pretty amazing. I had a great time, and like I say, I told you I don't get out much. So when I got to go there, it was like.
Yeah, right?
The worst thing about it is when I got there is I literally pull into town. It's this small town where probably not even a fast food restaurant in this town because it's so small.
Wow.
And I pull in and my tire pressure monitor starts going off. I'm like, are you serious? Literally as I pulled into town. So and then when I left, it wasn't on. So I'm like, oh, okay. It must have been just a glitch. It was weird.
You didn't check your tire pressure?
Well, I did check, but there's nothing.
Okay.
So I have problems with my car because they have aluminum wheels and they're known to leak. And so I'm literally refilling them every so many weeks. Very annoying.
Because on my way back on my way back from it was after Columbus. I went to Summit Racing Autocross Week, and then I took the Santa Fe Trail back to Colorado. I was going through Missouri, and all of a sudden, my Dakota Digital Dash. I'm a psychopath looking at my gauges. I always look at my temperature gauge and oil pressure, and all of a sudden, the oil pressure 0, 1, 0, 1, big red on the screen. It's like, oh my God, what's going on with my new engine? I pull over to the side and pop the hood. It's like. Got full oil. I'm okay. What the hell's going on? So anyways, long story longer, I had, we interviewed him on this, and now I can't remember his name, but outside of north of St. Charles.
Yeah.
Who is it?
You're talking,
anyways, he's got his own shop. But anyways, it was the oil
Paul.
pressure sensor.
Yeah.
So they took out the coils that were hidden and sent me on my way. And it's like, because I could have made it, but it was, or no problem, but it was just a stupid sensor. So fixed that and I was on my way. But geez,
I think it's funny, and people probably should watch that car owner virus podcast we did a long time ago. But a lot of the people that were on their show have like connected outside, and they didn't know each other before. And they like do stuff together now. It's so crazy.
He told me that, so I took a selfie of the both of us and texted it to you.
Yeah.
You were like, ha! So yeah.
That's what's so funny about it. That's what's so funny about this.
It's like then you go back into the Walt Disney and start singing "It's a Small World After All" and all is good in the world.
I always tell people the car world is so small, but it's also big at the same time, right? That's how I feel.
There's a close-knit community.
Inner people that talk to behind the scenes, but then it's just big and small at the same time.
It's huge, and it's a close-knit family. And another thing that I love about it is like the competition. I'm around the autocross a lot, and things happen, things break. And I remember a few years ago at the Loveland show here in Colorado, Chris Jacobs has a Callaway Corvette. It's got an LS9 in it. It's this monster. Something broke on the car. So over lunchtime, Chris, Schmitty, and I forget who else it was, they went to Napa. They went into Napa. They came back. They fixed it in the parking lot. And I don't know if he won, but nobody wants to win by default with these guys. They want you to get your car back on the road, back on the track, and get it. So, anyways, it's pretty awesome. The car family, the car community we have.
Yeah, and same with out here in Minnesota. The Minnesota Street Rod Association does stuff like that. They have like a who do you call list.
Love that.
And they'll come out and help other people. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool that they do stuff like that and support each other.
Yeah, that'd be excuse me. That would be a good idea for you to put on the Car Show Nationals website. It's like a state by state list of who do you call. Hey, if you've got a low oil pressure thing on your dash and you're in St. Charles, Missouri, who do you call?
Right.
Call up Paul and he'll get you sorted out and taking care of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
anyways. Well, so many things have happened since we've done podcasts. Like Garage Squad isn't on TV right now.
That's right.
I don't know if they're coming back or not. It seems like Motor Trend's kind of changing things up, right? I mean, there's a lot of shows that are still coming back. Like I saw Bitch and Rides is still going to be back in Iron Resurrection. But some of the other shows...
I remember, Shag was telling me that he thought that they were done after season 5. It's like, oh no, you guys have a good show. You work. Mm-hmm. There's no gags. There's no pranks, or there are, but you don't spend time talking about pranks and this stupid that you build cars. And
they still have pranks in the show though, but not as many as they used to.
Yeah,
when they had can't remember his name now, but they had a guy on there that's what they always did, is do pranks on him. But
Papa,
you never read into Shag at all when he went to Texas. He wasn't.
No, he's way down in Austin. So, and I didn't have my car. I had to fly out for the C10 Nationals. But the next time I'm down there, I just talked to him. But his son, I think his son Race is a Lego master. Right, he's moving somewhere. He got a job somewhere, and through one of Shag's friends, he's like, "Well, I need you to get a job at the Lego store, the local Lego joint, so I can use your Lego discount." It's like, he built the Millennium Falcon out of Legos, and it's like, that's so cool.
Yeah, I've met so many people, and we ran into when we interviewed Bogey. She talked about that, like they're all Lego people, and I thought that was kind of funny.
That's all cars are, just big Legos. You put them together piece by piece. And if one piece is off a little bit, the whole thing is...
Did you see Bogey has got her own thing she does like every Wednesday night? She gets a female or woman in the industry and interviews them. She does that every Wednesday night. So it's just funny to see what everyone's doing since we've been doing stuff. And it's kind of cool to see everyone growing and doing their own thing.
Right.
Including Lou. I mean, Lou Santiago's, his podcast, I swear, every time I get someone, I'm gonna talk to them. They have them on, so but it's all right. We all have fun.
That's
lose
right.
good.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you at SEMA, and I'm gonna try to line up some guests on the show, and
let's do it. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, so I think it's easier not in the middle of car show season, because I don't know where you are half the time. You're traveling across the country. I don't know if you're home or not. So
exactly.
So you've been busy since June. So
yeah,
you know,
heading back out on the road. I'll be done right before Thanksgiving. So
I wasn't going to hit you up and bother you. Yeah,
let me know.
So we'll do that after Thanksgiving. We'll start up. So
sounds good, Mike.
Everyone, we'll see everyone later and down the road, like they say, right?
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you.